Coconuts are probably nature's best electrolyte. They're full of potassium, vitamins, and all kinds of other minerals that are definitely beneficial to your health. The two kinds of coconuts we're going to be looking at today are young coconuts that are hanging from the tree that don't fall very easily. And then we have mature coconuts, which of course you can hear the water sloshing around in. Well, I find the best way to be able to determine whether it is a young or a mature coconut is to actually take a look at the coconut itself and also shake it. This, you can barely hear the water sloshing around. This is not a super young coconut, but it's also not a fully mature one like this. It's actually a semi-young, semi-mature coconut. You can't actually identify them always by their color, but usually the young coconuts have actual color. They're either a green, yellow, or orange. And the mature coconuts usually turn a wrinkly, grayish-brown, woody color. As the coconut matures on the tree, the water content starts to decrease and the meat gets thick. So, first coconut we're going to look at is the young coconut. Open these guys. Some people husk these and remove all this outer husk where the seed or nut is contained in the inside, the coconut itself. But what I like to do, and what most people do, is they take any heavy knife. I'm just using a large hunting knife. The best option would be a big machete, but I'm using just a hunting knife. Take the coconut. Make sure you're sitting in a comfortable position. Knife. Lay it at a sort of like almost 90-degree angle. And just chop and pull away. This you can use as a spoon to scoop out the coconut meat. And the meat in this coconut, because it is almost mature, it's not going to be a jelly or rubbery sort of meat. It's going to be a hard meat, just like this. But it's not fully mature because the water is still going to be full to the top with this. It's still going to have a bit of a champagne-y, fizzy, sour flavor, rather than this just being plain sweet and salty. Open. Real quick. And like I said, any knife will work as long as it's sharp enough. This knife is not even close to sharp enough, but a good knife will easily get into this. Another way you can tell if it's fully mature or not is to actually check it, look at the husk and smell it. The mature coconuts will smell like a woody or coconutty smell. This will smell almost like a pumpkin or cantaloupe, and that's how you know it's a young coconut. This is not a fully young coconut, but it's also not a fully mature coconut, so it's not going to be a dry husk. So you can't use this one fresh for fire tinder or anything that requires anything dry. And you can't really use this to make rope either. So you're going to have to make sure that you use the mature coconut. So first I'm just going to get this open. Pretty quick. Just chop around the husk until you expose the seed. You can really, the best thing to do is use a chopping block, and the best tool honestly is a machete, but this will also work. Technically any heavy sharp knife will work, so if you have any heavy sharp knife, even a knife that isn't heavy will still work, but it won't be nearly as fast. You'll be chopping at that for hours and hours. So if you're gonna do it this way and use a heavy knife, anything sharp and heavy will work. Go. So I've gotten all the way around and the seed is being exposed here. All I gotta do now is I can literally pretty much saw my way through the rest of this husk. Now, if you want to saw into a coconut, the best thing to use would probably be a cleaver. Either small or big, but I feel like the small ones would be better. I've exposed the coconut, and there it is. Now I just gotta get into this. Just chop right into it. There we go. Got into there. Now I can just go. Now I've cut the equator around, and I've got a nice open coconut. chop that up. Now I've actually chopped pretty much all of the seed because this was a very small coconut. So that's the meat inside, and a lot of the water actually spilled out. This is the remaining water. It's actually a bit salty. Because as you see, this one is actually a rubber meat sort of coconut. Now sometimes, depending on the variety of coconut, you'll actually get this. And I actually think I cut myself accidentally, yeah. And you can still drink the water, but sometimes it's salty when it's almost fully mature. It'll be salty sometimes. You can see this meat is fairly thick, but it's not fully matured meat. But it's still good, and you can still use your coconut spoon, of course, to get it out. There it is. And it still actually tastes pretty good. Not fully mature, but still young. And that one didn't actually have a champagne-y flavor. Of course, I said it was kind of salty. Sometimes people find these sour, sometimes they find these salty, but I always found these the sweetest. I don't know why, but mature coconuts for me, they just tend to be the sweetest. So this is gonna have that hard coconut meat that you buy at the store, you know? It's gonna have that brown, hairy thing. You know? That's the kind of shit you buy at the store. So you're gonna take the knife. A lot of times the best way to do this is you can use a stick, sometimes they call it a coconut stick. It's a Polynesian method, and you take a stick or a sharp piece of metal, and you just jam the coconut into it and rip off the husk. But I don't have a stick, so if you have a machete or any sharp knife, that'll also work. Basically what you do is you lay the coconut on the ground. It's my favorite method to do it. Keep your hands away on the other side of the coconut. You just chop right into the husk, make lines right into the husk. Just like that. Just like that. And then you can just peel it away simply. Just like that. Now, stick my knife right in there and peel the husk away. Jam it in there. All the way down. The bottom of this coconut is probably going to be pretty small. And that's because of the genetics. There we go. Now this husk is dry because it's a mature coconut. There we go. I got the husk. And this fibrous inner stuff here is very perfect for fire tinder. You can actually make, if you get it thin enough, you can actually get some stuff to make rope out of too. This is the method I like to use, just to pry open the husk. But like I said, this is not the best method, so if you have that right now, you can just skip the video. And go watch something else that has to do with the stick method, as I like to call it. You guys try this at home. Just remember that it's going to be really hard. So, yeah. Unless you're super strong, as you can see, I'm really skinny. It's not going to be easy. So if you want to husk a coconut, remember, from the time that you watched me doing this, it's not easy. I'm telling you this right now. So, and don't take all this information from me, though. So if you do really want to try this, then I'm not the best guy to go to, but I'm definitely one of them. Now this coconut's going to be pretty small. And I've already got quite a bit of the husk away, and the video's at 15 minutes, and if we're going to cut out part of this. Got it. There's that bit of husk off. Here, this fluffy stuff that kind of clings onto the coconut. And it's this pointy part, pointy end. And I'll show you how to open the coconut in a sec. So I freed the coconut from the husk. There's sweat dripping down my face. And now, that's it. That is the coconut. As you can see, it's pretty tiny. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a bit of water in there. Of course, it's a mature coconut, so it's gonna be mostly meat. But of course, there's still gonna be a bit of water. Now this here is our coconut. There's actually a number of different ways to do this. If it has a lot of water in it, then you puncture one of these 3 holes. 2 of them are called the eyes, and one of them is the soft one, which is known as the mouth. To test which one's the eye, which 2 are the eyes and which one's the mouth, just simply poke your finger in there. Oh, I think I figured it out. That one there. Usually the mouth is the one that protrudes out the most. And that is the mouth right there. Follow straight between the eyes, and then you see that hard ridge line right there. That is where you want to smack your coconut. So don't use the sharp edge. Use the back of your knife so that you don't cut yourself. Hold it in your hand or place it on the ground. Because if you hold it in your hand, the coconut might pinch you when you crack it. So you don't want to. If you don't want to do that, you can just hold it on the ground, place your hand right next to it, like this, and just whack it. It might take a few tries. There we go. I got it. And that's a nice crack right along the equator of the coconut. You can just stick your knife right in there and just crack open the nut. Here's your coconut. Nice and cracked. Still a bit of water in there, as you can see. There's your coconut. This is a mature coconut. There was a little bit of water in there, and I drank it, and it was, to be honest, it was actually pretty good. And you can extract this meat, or if you want, there's a little bit hanging off like there is here. Just pull right off. You can eat this brown skin. If you don't like it, then you can just pull it off, but I don't mind. Eat it just as is. Delicious. Don't eat too much, because the mature coconuts act as a natural laxative. If you don't want diarrhea, don't eat too much of these, but a couple pieces every day, great for your health. And of course, the young coconuts, you can drink as much as you want. You don't have to worry about any of that. That's the different stages of coconuts. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the Save Canada channel. I'll see you on the next video, and no, I'm not going to be making any more Minecraft videos. This is all it.